On this episode, we are talking about salon contests for our team, what to do with downtime, and how do we handle that one guest that is always late. Check it out. Ask away, it's FFQA. Hey everyone, welcome to FFQA 36. I'm Benjamin J. as always, and this is the show where I answer your salon questions. I'm a little late this week with this episode because we had a working weekend this past weekend. We had our first design class of the year, which was our hands-on cutting class, and it was sold out. We had such an amazing response. Then as soon as we were done with that, I drove up to Grand Rapids, Michigan to hang out and learn with our friends there at the Monaco Blue distributorship, and we had a great time. Lots of cool stuff going on up there. And yeah, so we're just a little late with this episode, but we got some great questions. You guys make this show possible. So the more questions you ask, the better the show becomes. So I would greatly, greatly appreciate it if you are watching this episode right now. Any question you may have, please drop it in the comments below or inbox it to us, and that way we can get it on the show. So with that said, let's get into some questions. This owner wants to know, do you do contests with your team? How do you gather the information, and what was the contest? I love this because to me, contests are fun, right? I love friendly competition, and I think that this goes a long way into helping support a culture of accomplishment and getting things done. So we do a number of team contests in order to get the team excited. And first one is kind of our weekly contests. And we gather the information using our booking program. We use Salon transcripts. Whatever software you use, this should be really easy to track. If you don't use software, though, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. But we look at the end of the week, who had the most new requests. We look at who had the highest amount of pre-booked guests, and most services done, and most bottles sold. And so those are the four categories that we look at each week. Anyone who wins one of those four categories, you get $15 for each category. They're not exclusive, so somebody could win all four if they wanted to, and they would get all $60. But I think that it goes, like I said, it goes a long way into helping create a culture about getting things done, accomplishment. And if it costs the salon $60 or however you set up the contest, I think it's a great little extra incentive in order to encourage people to do things. The larger contest that we do, the bigger contest, is we give our guests or our team the opportunity to go to Paul Mitchell's gathering event in Las Vegas. And so the way that it works is we're doing from January 1st through the end of May. If stylists do $3,500 in retail sales in that amount of time, we will get them their event ticket. The ticket itself, I think, is $500 or $550, but because we're a Paul Mitchell salon, we can use rewards points for it, and we do get a lot of rewards points. So that's how the economics kind of break down there, where yes, they are doing a lot, but if you back out of $3,500, if you back out to what the profit there is, you're somewhere around $1,750, $1,800. Of that, we're going to spend $500. That's doable, but if I can use my rewards points, it's even better. So that's kind of how we break it down and track it, and I think that our team really, really enjoys it. This stylist wants to know, I have a few holes in the schedule this week. What do you do to fill them? What do you do when you have 45 minutes to 2 hours between clients? This is going to sound kind of crazy, but I sometimes like having 45 minutes to 2 hours, maybe not 2 hours, but I like having downtime in between my guests. And the reason is I love turning downtime into uptime. And what I mean by that is there is constantly something that you can be doing today to try and get momentum for tomorrow. I'm not a big believer in when you have a downtime that you then go to Facebook or Twitter and post saying, hey, I still have one opening today, $20 off if you feel it. I hate discounts. I've gone over that many times on this show. And so that to me is not the way to do it. But what I would recommend is when you have downtime, hey, you know what? Work on a doll head, right? Maybe make your styling skills or your cutting skills better. Or grab a camera. Start shooting some stuff. Maybe do a little tutorial, a how-to. Maybe take some photos of the salon, post those to Facebook. Try and create some demand for yourself in the future. I think that there's very few things that you can do right now to affect right now. But what we do right now can affect tomorrow. And so that is always my encouragement. We just opened this space a few months ago. We're still building momentum. And so, of course, there is downtime for our stylists that are here. So we are encouraging them and giving them things to do so that they can build that downtime into uptime. This stylist wants to know, how do you professionally handle a guest that is always late? At least half an hour late every time, and walks in and grabs coffee before sitting in the chair. I think it's interesting how aggravated we can get when they grab that cup of coffee when they're already late. My answer to this is actually pretty simple, and it's get so busy that you can't service this guest. And what I mean by that is, the reason that this guest continues to come in and think that they are going to get serviced is because when they are late and they come in, they still get their service, right? So there's no repercussion. If we were talking about like training, we're still encouraging bad behavior because they're still getting what they want. I would not let this bother you necessarily if your schedule is so available that when they come in late, they're still getting serviced. If they are coming in late and you're still trying to squeeze them in before getting onto your next guest, right? So like if they were supposed to be here at 2, they came in at 2:30, but you have a guest at 2:45, then that doesn't work, right? We can't service this guest because they're late and then make the next guest late. So my answer is, be able to tell them that when they come in, I'm sorry that you're too late for the service that we had scheduled, because now it's going to push me into my next guest. If they want to wait until you're available after that, then offer them that. But I wouldn't take the service that is then going to push my next guest late, because that's not fair to your next guest. And I think that in terms of how to professionally handle it, just say it along those lines. Sarah, I'm sorry that you're so late today, but I do have a next guest scheduled in 10 minutes, and that's not going to give me enough time to be able to do the service that you want the way that you want me to. Something like that. And that should give you the ability to get out of it and then be on time for the next one. So everyone, this was FNF Q&A 36. Like I said up front, I would greatly appreciate you guys dropping some questions in the comments below or messaging them directly to me, and hopefully we'll be able to use them on the show. So until the next episode, I'm Benjamin J. You can follow me. You can follow Form and Function online as well, and share this with your stylist friends. We greatly appreciate it. We'll see you next time.